everybody, and welcome to NASCAR.com GarageCam. I'm your host, Matthew Dillner, live inside the garage area at Richmond International Raceway in Virginia. The big story this week through this rim right here, the number 88 nationwide ride. The driver, Dale Earnhardt Jr., the Mooresville, North Carolina driver, announcing his retirement at the end of the 2017 season. It has sent shockwaves throughout the sport, but shockwaves of a different kind. We heard the retirement of Carl Edwards, the at least stepping away of Carl Edwards earlier this season, but Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s having a different tone to it. Everybody in this garage seemingly happy for this driver and the future that he possesses, both on the personal side, and he'll still be involved in the sport. Remember, he has 2 more races contracted to run next year in the Xfinity Series. And, of course, car owner in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. So, hey, we're not getting rid of Junior yet, but we were around the campsites today. You'll see that on NASCAR.com maybe later today or tomorrow, talking with some race fans on their thoughts on Dale Earnhardt Jr. stepping aside from racing full-time in the NASCAR Monster Energy Cup Series. Ty Dillon alongside the Geico ride. Let's show you some of these cars right over here as Matt Strickard's laughing at me. We're the behind-the-scenes show. If you're watching live on NASCAR.com, he's got my phone somewhere there, and we're monitoring Twitter using the hashtag GarageCam. Send in your requests. We've had some early ones from Melissa and Krista Burrell wanting to see some things. And, well, we're going to show you some cool stuff right off the bat because a new paint scheme on board the number 20 JGR ride, Matt Kenseth, Circle K. I'll tell you what, this paint scheme is going to show up really nicely on this 3/4 mile oval in Virginia. 14 degrees of banking to the track, and there she is right there. The striped walls are back. Oh, I love it. A bunch of us were kind of teasing Richmond and a few other racetracks that you need to bring back the striped walls. And I said, you know, as a guy that sat in the stands before as a child, here at Richmond even, red, white, striped walls are great because it shows the fan the element of speed when you're sitting watching these cars race around this 3/4 mile oval from a distance. And kudos to Richmond International Raceway for taking a lot of our prodding, a lot of our advice. Social media can be a fun thing. It can be a powerful thing. People listen. That's the thing. If you're on social media, get on right now on Twitter, hashtag GarageCam, because we'll listen as well. Austin Dillon, AAA.com. Daniel Suarez, we saw him walking to his hauler just a few moments ago. Paul Menard in the little rock star on there. New paint scheme, a little bit of an alteration this week. Speaking of drinks, Maxwell House, good to the last drop. A.J. Allmendinger, well, his performance last week at Bristol wasn't good to the last drop. They had a little bit of damage, of course, in a little incident, and A.J. Allmendinger always looking to do well when we go to the short tracks. He runs really well on these type of racetracks. And speaking of running really well, this number 95 car, if you remember, the last time we were here in the fall, this driver in the number 95 finished 12th. Okay, so remember that. Michael McDowell, an underdog in our sport, but this team definitely performed well. Ryan Blaney doesn't have a good record here at Richmond, but this 21 team has been stout so far this season in the NASCAR Monster Energy Cup Series. But McDowell, going back to him, not the best finish this team has ever had, but that 12th place run, Michael McDowell saying it's a run that he thinks was the strongest, maybe not the strongest result, but the strongest by this team since he's joined it. Tigra, wait, hold on, Blaine Smith chiming in. What's that bright light in the sky? Oh, let's find it. Oh, yes, it's sunshine. Oh, we're actually going to have a garage cam because it's sunny out. How about that? You got to love it. Unbelievable. I didn't know what that bright light was as well, but you can see it on this car right here. You see the sunshine. That's what we're used to seeing right now is the shade. And now sunshine. Give big thumbs up to Blaine Smith for pointing that out for us. Chris Buescher. Great story about Chris Buescher and Bristol Motor Speedway on Saturday night. All the rains that came in. And you know what? Show you that a lot of us do care about the fans. You know, I meet a lot of them out, you know, in our travels. But Chris Buescher left his motorhome got in his 4x4 truck, went out there. Fans didn't even know who the heck the guy was, too, because he said he was all kind of bundled up, and so nobody would know him, and helped some of the race fans get away from the flood that was rising with the river that goes by Bristol Motor Speedway. And a lot of tents were underwater, and a lot of people had to rush to safety. They had to move campers quickly. Okay, let's all, as GarageCam fans right now, give Chris Buescher a thumbs up for doing such a good deed. And not for publicity either. All the publicity came afterwards. He posted one thing on Instagram, but a lot of us heard about it and saw it because we follow social media channels, and went and talked to him about it the next day. We did on NASCAR.com and all that, but Chris Buescher, good dude. Cole Witt, code 3 on the number 10 of Danica Patrick this week. And here is Reed Sorensen walking to his car. See if we can grab a word with Reed real quick. He's driving the 15 this week. All right, man, I think the hot topic in NASCAR right now is, of course, the announcement, Dale Earnhardt Jr. retiring. What's your personal thoughts on it?
Well, you know, I think we all wondered if he was going to come back this year with the stuff he went through with his concussions and things like that. And you know, he's been in the sport a long time. He's done a lot for this sport. You know, not only his driving career, but for everybody else, and you know, his Xfinity team that he owns. He's done a lot, and he's definitely served his time. And you know, I know he just got married and probably wants to start a family, so that probably accounts into a lot of it. And I think it was good timing. It was the right move for him, and I think everybody agrees that it was probably time for him to do what's right for him and his family. And I look forward to, you know, seeing what he can do with NASCAR moving forward.
And being a dad, this guy right here, Reed Sorensen, is a dad. His kid about to turn 2 years old, and sitting down last week, wasn't driving, and now running this 15 this week at Richmond. Tigra, welcome back, Matthew Dillner. Oh, check it out. Need to see Happy Harvick. I know you. I knew this would be his last year, says Tigra. Good luck, Dale Earnhardt Jr. David Reagan, the good Sam, number 38. Landon Castle, the number 34. Teammates parked right alongside each other. I know team members love that because it makes it easy. They can all pitch in, help out a little bit. Of course, Matt DiBenedetto's number 32 in the distance as well. They're the E.J. Wade Construction Clean Parts, number 32, Ford. Ford section right here, of course, Reed Sorensen's machine. Corey LaJoy, the Concord, North Carolina driver. Sweet Frog on the Ray Galding car. Gotta love that Sweet Frog logo. I'm a big fan of Sweet Frog. Just gotta tell you. I know it was on David Reagan's car just last year, and I think I made reference to the fact that my family and I go to Sweet Frog. I like it. Who doesn't like some frozen yogurt? Jeffrey Earnhardt. Remember, folks, we still will have an Earnhardt in the field. And if you don't know Jeffrey Earnhardt, just get to know him, man. I mean, the guy is entertaining as all get out. He's as country as all get out. A lot of fans kind of identify with that. And the dude, like, trains MMA. I mean, the dude's certifiably a bad man. He's awesome. He's a pretty cool dude. Plus, Jonathan Merriman's a big fan of his beard. Oh, spotted Levine Family Racing, spotting us doing GarageCam action on Twitter using the hashtag GarageCam. Carly, their PR person, she does a wonderful job. Timmy Hill, the number 51, of course, my favorite number. I'm biased. Number 51. My dad raced number 51. A short track called Islip Speedway before I was born. Birthing my passion for the sport. And hopefully I can convey my passion for the sport and transfer it to you guys, the race fans at home. I know so many of you watching this wish you were right here, right now, at we certainly don't take for granted the opportunities we have to be inside the garage and give you that you don't get anywhere else. Hey, Granary and 41 boys back in this Mobile One annual protection Ford into its garage stall. The win sticker, of course, from the Daytona 500. Mobile One on board, and Mobile One on board with us. NASCAR.com GarageCam, proud sponsor, longtime sponsor of NASCAR.com GarageCam, bringing you interactive inside the Monster Energy garage here every week on NASCAR.com. There it is, the 43. Every track that we go to, Matthew Strickert, our producer, every track that we go to, it seems like the most winning team get like maybe Michigan, but you come here to Richmond and it's cool to look at that you get, you know, sent to you every once in a while. Is prizes. Look at that. Look at the producer at work taking a picture to put on hashtag GarageCam on Twitter. Look at this. This is magic. Hey, and all the camera guys, too. Big shout out to all the camera guys today. Craig right here is a camera guy, long time. How many years have you been doing this?
78 years.
78 years. You look wonderful for being 94 years old.
Yeah.
On a hot day like this, how does a cameraman make it through a hot, humid day like Richmond?
Monster Energy. Yeah, pound a lot of Monster.
Hey, that's the right answer. All right, this guy's a Philly guy right there. We won't hold that against him, but Craig, one of our teammates with NASCAR, that's awesome. Behind the scenes, man, I got everybody from the crew guys to the media people. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. has a 10th place finish here in 2013 for this Olive Branch, Mississippi driver. The Fifth Third Bank paint scheme this week, and I'll tell you what, points is Ricky. 13th in points. Of course, they want to be better, but making small strides is this group of Ford racers. Oh, you got to love that sound right there. The FedEx Brown car, Denny Hamlin. 3 wins for Denny Hamlin in Virginia at this speed plant near the city of Richmond. And we discussed this at Martinsville, the most winning Virginia driver in the NASCAR Monster Energy Cup Series with 29 career wins. Most winning Virginia-born driver right here. That's a pretty cool, hey, I used that trivia for a few people, and I stumped a lot of people. It was great. Ryan Newman, the number 31, a previous winner at Richmond. And you see the win sticker on board the 31. Trevor Bain sitting 13th in points in this Avocare Ford. Welcome back, GameStop on the side of the number 77, the first time this year. This Denver-based team, Eric Jones, flashing some success and some speed last week at Bristol. For Eric Jones, 3rd in that first stage at Bristol, 6th in the second stage. If it wasn't for that pit road penalty, I'd really like to see where they would have finished. They ended up 17th, but this driver has 4 wins at Richmond. And you know what I love? I love when Todd Barrier, but they're getting dusty. They're working on the back of this number 18. Shaving, trying to get some speed. Hey, you got to do whatever you can to get speed in this garage. Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney having a good season so far. 2 playoff points, of course, in Texas. Those 2 stage wins. Not the greatest record here. Let's see. Blaine Smith, I'd like to see the famous Wood Brothers car. Well, there you go. Boom, Blaine Smith. That's awesome. Did we pass the 5 car yet? Did we pass the 5 car yet? Oh, man, we passed the 5 car. And I think Leah Bartlett, we got to give you a shout out to Kasey Kahne. You wanted to see the number 5 car, and I think we skipped or passed or it wasn't there. Maybe it was rolling through tech, the Kasey Kahne machine. But shout out to Leah Bartlett. Kasey Kahne getting his first Cup win here at Richmond. Philly NASCAR. Can you look for Blaney? I don't know. I'm seeing my boy Andretti right here. What's up? Oh, here is Blaney. All right, Philly NASCAR said, can you look for Blaney? And it was like he predicted the future because I turn around and voila.
Who said that?
Philly NASCAR. These Twitter handles are...
A person?
Yeah, a Twitter person. Does that mean they're still a real person though, right?
Maybe they're here.
So maybe they're like got a...
And they knew I was walking up. You're one.
Chuck Bush is one.
I know
he
Chuck
hides
is.
behind stalking behind that beard of his.
Yeah. I heard that. I heard.
Have you seen the birds that sometimes occasionally nest in Chuck Bush's beard?
I have not.
You have not.
No way.
You have to allude to that on the podcast.
The podcast? Okay, yeah, I'll...
So how'd you come up with the name for the podcast? I want to know because Chuck won't tell me.
Glass Case of Emotion?
Yes.
I just thought it was a good name. Anchorman's one of my favorite movies, so I thought it was pretty good. And where we film it is literally kind of in like a glass box.
It is.
And it gets emotional in there.
It does.
So I felt like it just went together well.
Speaking of emotion.
Yeah.
This is a great segue here. We've been asking people, of course, the biggest story of the week, besides you being on GarageCam.
Right.
The biggest story of the week has been Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s announcement. What is your thoughts? His announcements of retiring after the 2017 season.
He's retiring?
Yeah. Have you haven't heard? I mean, there hasn't been much news about it, has it? What's your thoughts, though? No. I mean, you've been buddies with him, and
yeah, no, he's that's definitely something that caught a lot of people off guard. I think he's been a great person for the sport, and I'm excited to run the rest of this year with him, to be able to race against him. I've been lucky to do that with Jeff and Tony and now Dale, to race with them in their last year. That's pretty special to me because I looked up to them guys as a kid, and I still do. I know we've had our run-ins, but it'll be a lot of fun to finish it out with him, and I hope he sticks around a lot for after he's done driving. I think he will, and I'm excited to get back to his place and start drinking some beer with him, having some good times.
Well, when he retires, you'll get free beer.
I had this supply for a while, so I have to bring the case Sunday night. So that's where I'm sitting right now.
All right, Blaney. And if you don't follow Ryan Blaney on Twitter, follow him on Twitter @Blaney. He's an interesting follow, that's for sure. Oh, there's Kasey Kahne. You know, Leah Bartlett was on our show requesting the driver right here, Kasey Kahne. And all right, place of your first win here at Richmond. What's your memories of that day in 2005?
That was a good day. That was a bit of a surprise, get the first win. We came close for a year and a couple months, running second a lot. And then we finally got it that night. That was fun. That was a blast with my team. The guys are all pumped up. That's still one of my biggest wins, like most exciting nights I've had in racing.
Now, the big news all this week, everybody's talking about your teammate, Dale Earnhardt Jr., the announcement to retire. You know, it caught a lot of people off guard, but it seems like the mood in the garage, everybody's pretty happy for him. What's your thoughts?
Definitely happy for him. I just watched him come in. He was swarmed. It looked more aggressive than usual, so that was interesting. But yeah, I think he's gonna have that the rest of the season. He's gonna be covered up. But yeah, it was happy for him and Amy, and you know what his plans are in the future. I mean, I think it's great. He's had a great career. He's done a ton for the sport and for himself and his family and myself and tons of fans. Like we've all enjoyed the Earnhardts and Dale Earnhardt Jr. So yeah, I'm happy for him. I think it's pretty cool, and I know he'll still be a bit of part of the sport, so that'll always be nice too to have him around. I think he loves NASCAR, he loves racing, so he'll be around for a long, long time.
All right, Kasey, we appreciate your time on NASCAR.com. GarageCam, oh, check it out. The best beard in the garage area, and actually, you know what's funny? Because we were just talking about some other guy named Earnhardt that's stealing the headlines from you this week. I don't know what's the deal with that, but thoughts on him retired.
You know, it's awesome. You know, it's cool to see. I mean, everything that he's been through and how he handled it throughout his whole career has just been awesome. And to call him, I'm proud to be able to call him my uncle. You know, just what he's done for the sport and how much the fans just appreciate him, and how much he's continued that legacy that my grandfather built is pretty special to me. But man, I hope the best for him. He's got it made. He's got a wonderful wife with Amy, and I didn't think a woman would ever be able to tie him down, so she did something right.
That's for sure. I think a lot of us thought that. But hey, what's it going to be like being? I mean, have you even thought about the fact that next year you might be the only Earnhardt in the field?
Yeah, I mean it's cool. I guess it's a little more pressure, you know. My biggest goal in life is to continue that legacy that my grandfather built, and continue to keep the Earnhardt fans happy. You know, you see some of them posting all this negative stuff on my Twitter, and it's kind of funny, but. You know, I'm just gonna keep trying to do my part in racing, and hopefully we'll work our way to the front and become one of these really good guys over here on this side of the garage.
All right, man. We appreciate you always on NASCAR.com GarageCam. Jeffrey Earnhardt taking the time to stop for us and wait as we do a little Kasey Kahne interview. Kevin Harvick with the Busch Light paint scheme on the number 4, the number 14. What a run for Clint Boyer. Second place finish, runner-up finish last week at Bristol, showing their stuff. Gear wrench on board Jamie McMurray's car for the first time in 2017. And how about the back-to-back winners, the Lowe's team, the 48, winning at Bristol last week, 2 wins in a row. Who do we got here? Agna or Alana. I'd love to see the number 48. I need to get a bigger screen. I need a tablet. Anna. Oh, boy. You'd figure I was a camera guy. I have good vision. The number 2, Brad Keselowski, a previous winner here, one-time winner at Richmond International Raceway, as well as a victory for the driver of the number 22 of Joey Logano at the Richmond 3/4 mile oval. Let's boogie on over here. Maybe we could see Dale Jr. climbing in his car if we get time over there. But Martin Truex, I'll tell you what, this team, I was entrenched in this pit area all week at Bristol, and they fought all day in the pit road penalty. Put them in a bad circumstance, but this team, the 78, was the class of the field last week. Them and possibly Kyle Larson, both of them suffering some penalties on pit road and hampering their day, which opened the doors for Jimmy Johnson. Chase Elliott, about to compete in his 50th NASCAR Monster Energy Cup Series start. Joey Logano, of course, his 200th. Make sure you check out that video on NASCAR.com. It is awesome. But Chase Elliott, 50th start. He's a previous winner here, not in Cup. This would be his 4th start, I believe, in Cup, but in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. And we'll have a NASCAR Xfinity Series Garage Cam coming up for you shortly on NASCAR.com. Eastern Standard, looking at the number 42, the Credit One Bank, number 42 of Kyle Larson. An outstanding performance. Pit road problems plaguing that number 42 team last week, and you saw it with the 78, you saw it with the 42. It basically cost them the race, but the point leader from California, Kyle Larson, what a season so far for that young race car driver. And talking to a lot of fans this morning, and a lot of people are saying, you know, Dale Earnhardt Jr. may be leaving. But that's a guy that maybe, just maybe, we can become fans of. So you see a lot of people hopping ship maybe over there. Austin Dillon. Inside the garage of the Welcome North Carolina driver, Daniel Suarez, the native of Monterrey, Mexico. And right alongside, Ty Dillon in the number 13. Speaking with crew chief Booty Barker before this practice session. And they maybe drew the shortest straw because they probably have the busiest garage area here. Oh, and there's Dale Earnhardt. Crew members coming up and congratulating June on his retirement. Hey, you look a little taller. You suddenly just got taller. I wish I was a baller. Oh, we find humor in everything on NASCAR.com GarageCam. back up here. We'll let live TV get in here. But Dale Earnhardt Jr., the Nationwide 88. It's going to be a busy week for Junior at Richmond. Of course, Dale Earnhardt Jr. with a few wins here. 3 wins at Richmond International Raceway. Did you know Richmond International Raceway, when it first opened up, 1946, it was called the Atlantic Rural Exposition and a half-mile dirt track. And then I believe it was 1969 that it turned into the Richmond Fairgrounds. Named a few things in between. Of course, the 14-time most popular driver. 603 starts, those 26 wins, and 2 Daytona 500s for Dale Earnhardt Jr. We'll probably close the show out here. Why not? Waiting on the Mooresville, North Carolina driver to climb into his number 88. We're going to have in NASCAR. That didn't happen. But hey, all of this, all the cameras, all this attention. Well, you know what? I'm going to look at it another way. I'm going to look at it as this is good for the sport. There was an excitement around coming to the final races where you could see your favorite driver, Dale Earnhardt Jr., for ticket sales. It's great for attention for the sport. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is focused on winning races. That's what he wants to do. But overall for the sport, you know, this is not a bad thing. You know, a little farewell tour, a respect tour. And there's an undercurrent of respect through this area for this young race car driver. Well, I guess he's not young anymore. I always call him a young race car driver. I think he's a tick younger than me. Rob Lopes on the left front tire. Getting tire pressures ready for the first practice. We're going to step out a little bit and give him a little bit of space. Media surrounding this number 88. Imagine what it's going to be like in Homestead. We've seen it in the last 2 years with Jeff Gordon. We've seen it with Tony Stewart in their last weekends at Homestead, how much attention has been around them. The Dinger. McDizzle. Michael McDowell. Getting ready for practice. Tiffany Daniels, former racer herself and PR person for Hendrick Motorsports. She loves getting on camera. That's awesome. The cool thing about Tiffany, though, you want to talk about a pure racer, there's Tiffany right there. Former late model racer. Her brother, Cliff Daniels, a former racer himself, who's now an engineer on the number 48 car of Jimmy Johnson, victorious last week. Having problems with tweeting, welcome back, Matt. Need Dale Jr., pretty please. Oh, hey, Virginia, VA right. Hey, you know what? You said pretty please on NASCAR.com. So I say, hey, there you go. You're welcome. That's awesome. I like people that are polite. Melissa, you were tuning in before, and you asked to see Kyle Larson, I think it was. We brushed by that car. I don't even know if we mentioned you when we did, but you said please with like 40 S's. So there you go. Politeness wins. Here we go. It's about that time where the cars roll out at Richmond. Well, I like to call it the Richmond Fairgrounds, but it's Richmond International Raceway, a beautiful 3/4 mile oval located in Richmond, Virginia, a place that so many of us on the circuit absolutely love and adore. Cars on the front side are rolling out. That means we're about to head on out. GarageCam wrapping up here. Make sure you tune in to 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. NASCAR Xfinity Series GarageCam coming at you. This guy was the car owner of the victorious machine last year when we were here in the spring. Can Junior Motorsports do it again in the Xfinity Series? We'll talk about that, and make sure you keep it logged on to NASCAR.com all weekend long. And make sure you watch the Toyota Owners 400 Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Fox Listen to it on MRN Radio and, of course, on Sirius XM satellite radio. 121 races here at the Richmond International Raceway for the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series. 490 different drivers have strapped behind the wheel at this beautiful Virginia track. 50 of them have become winners. Dale Earnhardt Jr. was one of them. Will there be a first-time winner this weekend? Will it be a glorious weekend for the 88 and maybe one last win for the 14-time most popular driver? We'll find out on Sunday. Keep it logged on to NASCAR.com. And until next time, folks, we'll see you at the races.